Ready? Start. Pandit Nehru was the prime architect of India's political institutions. His contribution to the evolution of parliamentary democracy in the country was unique. It was he who built brick by brick the infrastructure and edifice of parliamentary institutions in India. The years that followed the commencement of the Constitution constituted a period of great stress and strain for the nation and for the world at large. That India's representative institutions endured was a great tribute to Nehru's abiding faith in and respect for the parliamentary hundred system. The Union Parliament itself, under Nehru's leadership, performed a tremendous conflict resolution and national integration role during the formative years 1950 to 1964. As the grand inquest of the nation, it came to be relied upon as a forum for grievance ventilation and redressal and for resolving the multifarious difficulties and problems of the people. As the first Prime Minister of India who was at the helm of affairs for the most crucial 14 years of the new republic, it was Jawaharlal Nehru who worked the constitutional mandate of establishing a parliamentary system guaranteeing social, economic, and political justice, liberty, equality, dignity of the individual, and unity and integrity of the nation. And the way he worked it, he gave shape, meaning, and content to the provisions of the Constitution. As the leader of the House Provisional Parliament, first Lok Sabha, second Lok Sabha, and third Lok Sabha, Nehru played the most outstanding role in establishing healthy practices and precedents. Free and fair elections to Parliament based on universal adult franchise, for Nehru the most sacred festival of democracy and an article of faith. He showed tremendous respect to the institution of Parliament and to parliamentary practices and procedures. This was evident all through his conduct inside and outside the House of Parliament. His relations with the presiding officers and the members of Parliament were most cordial and admirable. Letters of individual members of Parliament were almost invariably replied to by him personally and most promptly. Nehru had the fullest faith in Parliament as the supreme representative institution of the people. He believed in the primacy of Parliament and in its supremacy within the field assigned to it by the Constitution. In the matter of the role of the judiciary and extent of judicial review, Nehru took a very firm stand and said that the courts could not 101 become a third legislative chamber. Their role was to interpret the laws made by Parliament and not to themselves lay down the law. It was through his conscious effort that Parliament secured a preeminent position in the country's polity. The effectiveness of institution of Parliament was convincingly vindicated on several occasions. Nehru was always more than willing to accommodate the views of the opposition in the greater interests of the nation. He listened to the viewpoint of the opposition very carefully. It was, he said, fully democratic that the opposition should criticize the government's policies, only it would be more helpful if they offered constructive criticism. Even though the opposition was weak in numbers, Nehru accorded it considerable importance and held the view that it would not be right for us to appear to be vindictive. He met the opposition leaders occasionally to exchange ideas on crucial issues. He would make it a point to compliment those who made fine speeches and raised important issues. Also, he would talk to them. His personal relationship with many opposition members was most cordial and friendly. Glowing tributes have been paid to him for his unfailing courtesy and consideration shown to opposition members of parliament. Nehru felt responsible not only to the members of his own party but also to those of the opposition and in fact to the whole nation. He was conscious of the fact that he was the Prime Minister of the entire country and the leader of the whole house and not merely the leader of the majority party in parliament. Under Nehru's stewardship, the rights and privileges of members were duly safeguarded and the dignity and prestige of the house maintained. He asserted, I am jealous of the powers of this house and I should not like anyone to limit those powers. Once, when some members from the opposition felt that certain remarks made by the then special assistant of Nehru were a contempt of house and brought a privilege motion, Nehru requested the Speaker to refer the matter to the Committee of Privileges. He said when a considerable section of the House was feeling that something should be done, it is hardly a matter for a majority to override those wishes. Suggestion to drop this matter would, I think, not be a right one because it almost appears that an attempt was made somehow to hush matters or hide matters. It is not a good thing for such an impression to be created.